Today's title is Mistrucky's WoW's rules sub-theme is Do Not Be Careless. Follow basics to survive. This is a battleship guide for clan J-SAV. Today, we review tactics, early positioning, torpedo avoidance, aiming by distance, and choosing ammo types. Battleship basics review from start to about 7 minutes. Favor the sideline, avoid frontal charges, and rushing the center. Torpedo rule is head-on avoidance, turn into the torpedoes, and dodge. If only a few torpedoes hit, use repair party to heal and survive to late game. When aiming, change aim height by distance. At long range, prioritize reducing enemy HP. At mid-range, aim for vital parts, but avoid hitting the water. Aim slightly high at close range, aim at the vital area near the waterline and secure a kill. Key early play tip: do not enter the center early. Many teammates do not understand why. Here is a simple reason: the center has many enemies and you are easy to spot by scouts. More on early play: if you go center, destroyers will spot you and you get targeted. Destroyers' view also helps cruisers behind them. You can be shot from both sides from start to 7 minutes. Many enemies make heavy focus fire, so secure the sideline. The sideline is for gathering information. Prioritize spotting and scouting to learn enemy positions, know which ship types and where they go. Take time to collect information. With that, you can move safely. Sideline advantages: if you take one sideline, the directions you get fired from are limited. When damage directions are limited, you can respond more easily if you know enemy positions. And firing lines: you can keep a retreat route safe. Withdrawal leads to survival. The basic rule for the first 7 minutes is do not force actions at the start. Do not push forward or rush into the center. When destroyers or submarines spot you, cruisers and support ships behind them will immediately focus fire. Smokescreen: camping in a capture area makes you an easy torpedo or radar target, so avoid using excessive smokes at the start and prioritize information gathering and safety. The reason battleships may feel weak is a combination of slow turret traverse and long reload times. In the crowded early game, fast destroyers or cruisers can close quickly, and the turrets cannot turn fast enough to fire. In addition, long reload intervals mean after one salvo you wait a long time to shoot again, so battleships struggle against many fast targets at once and thus feel vulnerable early on. The core principle of battleship operation is to align your aim and concentrate main battery resources. Battleships cannot fire in 3 different directions at once, so keep your guns pointed in the same direction to minimize turret traverse and allow consecutive firing. Early on, avoid chasing and pushing forward. Instead, focus on firing while retreating. Keep good angles and align with allies so you cover slow turret traverse and increase survival. The best response to torpedoes is to turn the rudder toward the torpedo direction and perform a head-on dodge to minimize the number of hits. If you keep going straight or panic turn sharply, you risk multiple hits, and being sunk turning toward the torpedoes causes them to spread and reduces the number of hits. Do not remain idle and sail straight, as that is the most dangerous option. Always steer correctly to avoid torpedoes. Overview of how to improve main battery accuracy. Here are 3 basic rules for better hit rate. First, change aim height by shooting distance. Second, predict enemy movement and lead your shots. Third, make stable firing lines and concentrate guns in the same direction. Long range aiming basics. At long range, shells take longer to land and fall more, so hits are hard. Prioritize chipping away at enemy HP by hitting several places instead of trying to sink in one salvo. Aim slightly above the bridge to increase shell impacts and raise hit count. Mid-range aiming. At mid-range, aim for vital parts, but avoid aiming too low. Low hits can splash into water and reduce damage. Aim just above the waterline. This prevents underwater hits and makes each shell deal better damage. Close range aiming. When the enemy shows broadside at close range, aim precisely at vital parts. Accuracy matters most when you can sink them directly. Slow your battleship or come nearly to a stop, so shells land together. Concentrate fire to secure the kill. Battleship rules summary: to raise main battery hit rate, change aim position and elevation by distance. At long range, aim slightly above the bridge to increase shell impacts at mid-range aim, just above the waterline to avoid underwater hits, and secure damage at close range, focus precisely on vital parts, and prioritize accuracy. Shell selection quick guide understand shell roles, and switch quickly by situation. He high explosive is effective versus destroyers and lightly armored cruisers for deck damage, and fire AP armor piercing penetrates armored ships for citadel damage. SAP semi-armor piercing is intermediate, especially British battleships often perform better staying on he rather than switching to AP. Rules recap for today: move to the sideline early and prioritize spotting and scouting to learn enemy numbers and positions. Battleships must avoid torpedoes by turning into them and performing head-on dodges to minimize hits. Adjust main battery aim point and elevation by distance to ensure damage. Use shell types properly and consider trying British battleships on here early on. Preview and request for next time. A 1-point tip useful in real matches will be ready next time. If this video helped, please subscribe and like at the end. Your feedback improves future content. See you in the next video.